We don't have that confidence, that conviction, that belief in self that comes from the knowledge of self that makes us believe that we can do something. So we think the best thing I can do with my gift, skill, and talent is protest and beg and ask and demand and vote and vote and vote and beg and vote and complain and vote. We should do that because we live in a society just to make it known that they don't care about us. So maybe 5 or 10% of our energy can go that direction, but the other 90%, we have to start doing something for ourselves. No more complaining. Let's do some construction.
Watch the full interview with Brother Nuri Muhammad now at ineverknewtv.com premium. Nationally, almost half of all murders go unsolved, right? And nearly 40% of missing persons are black, even though we make up only 13% of the population. Why do you think so many murders and missing persons cases in our communities go unresolved, and why isn't there a louder collective uproar about it?
Was it Michael Jackson that says, all I want to say is they don't really care about us? That was him. True then, true now. So the premium on black life is low. When you're in real estate and you show up in an area, you make comps or a value of a house based upon the comps. 1 mile radius, you determine whatever similar to square footage of matches that. So this house is worth 100. The premium on black life, our appraisal by this world is low, by them and by us. So because of that, there's no respect for life. We had the minister's wisdom. We opened up bookstores all over the country, and listen to the name that he said that they should be called. Respect for Life Bookstore. Guess what that means? Even if you don't come in and buy a book, you had to read that. And if we started reading it, and as the scripture says in John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God, then the Word become flesh and dwell among men. Was past participle of is in mathematics is an equal sign. If the Word is God, that means the power on one side is equal to the power on the other side. Whatever God can do, words can do. So if he's the creator, which means to take from nothing and make something, if we keep reading respect for life, we might start actually having it. It'll become flesh and dwell among us. So even those that didn't come in the store, they had to keep reading respect for life. The enemy does not see the value of our life. That's the reason why they don't care about looking for a missing black child. I submit to us as black men, we have to become the regulators of our own affairs. There's some things that we can do that won't create cost or inconvenience, not a high level of inconvenience, that could stop some of this missing children, kidnapping, etc. See, whenever the sun starts rising late, but our babies have to still be on those bus stops in the dark, what's wrong with the men in the community creating shifts where we show up on that bus stop with our car on and the lights on to make sure that that corner is lit and we are watching for any pedophile that's coming to mess with our babies? See, that's what men do. We are the protectors and the maintainers and the providers of not just a little house, but our community. And if we did that, imagine if the little brothers and little sisters seen us coming out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We just here to make sure that y'all okay. Guess what that means? Whenever they need advice, who they gonna ask? When you come to pull their coattail, they'll respect you. So we can't wait on them to respect us. We got to respect ourselves. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Message to the Black Man said, we can never demand respect from another people until we first have respect for ourselves. You show it, we prove it by the way we treat each other and by the way we treat our young. Don't cost us nothing to wake up a few minutes early to make sure they get on the bus. Don't cost us nothing to be outside when they get out, and make sure that the affairs of the community is regulated. We could do that and we wouldn't have to wait for a non-interested white investigator to come and look for someone that he don't care about, they wouldn't even be missing in the first place. We'd have them. And because we watched out for them ourselves. So we don't want to be a reactionary force. We want to be a proactive force. Not respond to the missing child and go look for them ourselves. That's good. But what's better is to be proactive and be there to make sure they never become missing in the first place.
What is this psychology where people believe, people say the system's against them, right? But they profess like the system's going to help them. And I don't understand that dynamic.
But again, this is all rooted in the lack of self-worth. We don't believe that we have the ability to be independent of our enemy. We don't believe that we can actually have a land of our own, a nation of our own, and we can actually run our own city, state, country, town, hell, neighborhood. We think that in order for us to survive, we got to keep on getting the crumbs that fall from the rich man's table. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this. He said, 75% of what you read in the New Testament was prophecy. Pro, meaning to in advance. Feci, Latin for speak, meaning that it was spoken in advance. 2,000 years ago they said it, but it's for now. Then he said this. He said nearly 2/3 of the Bible is prophecy. So we looking at this as a holy history book, but this is just parables, metaphors, and similes pointing to something later. I just read it this morning in the book of Mark. Look what it said. It says that Jesus spoke not to them except in parables, and everything he said was a parable. Parable means that it is using the known to describe the unknown. It's taking tangibles and making them teachables. It's taking stuff you know about to tell you things about what you don't know about. Well, if it's a parable, that means that it has a hidden meaning to it. Well, look at this problem with this man named Lazarus. Lazarus, ain't that something? If you break it down etymologically, lazy or us. What was he doing? He was sitting outside the rich man's gate, waiting for crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. Do you know when crumbs fall, that means they accidentally fell off. See, they're not been pushed off. You just hoping that something falls off. It never dawned on Lazarus, wait a minute. What's wrong with me having my own table? Wait a minute. Why come I can't have my own kitchen and stove? Why come I can't plant my own wheat? Why come I can't till the wheat, grow the wheat? Why come I can't convert it into flour? Why come I can't make my own bread? Instead of waiting for crumbs that fall from this white man's rich man's table, let me go ahead and start and put my energy into doing something to produce bread for myself. That's what's wrong. We don't have that confidence, that conviction, that belief in self that comes from the knowledge of self that makes us believe that we can do something. So we think the best thing I can do with my gift, skill, and talent is protest and beg and ask and demand and vote and vote and vote and beg and vote and complain and vote. We should do that because we live in a society just to make it known that they don't care about us. So maybe 5 or 10% of our energy can go that direction, but the other 90%, we have to start doing something for ourselves. No more complaining, let's do some construction. No more begging, let's do some building. They have, in Indianapolis, they have Planned Parenthood in the black community and in almost every major city. Planned Parenthood's in the black community. Every now and then you'll see a few protesters out there, but they over there killing our babies. They literally are murdering and encouraging us to kill the ones that have the cure for sickle cell, cancer. That comes from a mind of a human being. You never know who is going to be born. What if Mary would have gotten an abortion? See? Then you don't have a Jesus, etc. down the line. So in the white community, I didn't know they had Planned Parenthoods. I seen one. And in the white neighborhood, every single day, never failed, there's always people out there protesting. But not in our community, never, very rarely. But look at this, not only are they protesting, but there's a Planned Parenthood, and then they built a family planning center to encourage you not to get an abortion next door to the Planned Parenthood, and it's bigger and better than theirs is. See, they don't think big, they thinking build. We have to start doing the same thing. Spend less energy trying to repair and more energy trying to replace.